Hola, hola. This is your boy Tico Trent, and I'm gonna talk about my honest thoughts on how to view women to actually help yourself and better understand yourself, to better understand the situation. Basically, here's the thing with women. A woman is basically like that coworker at work, basically. Um, like the coworker at work. I'll always say you should always view a woman how you view your coworkers at work. And what I mean by that is y'all work together. Yes. Now, the question, now ask your, I want you, everybody to ask yourselves, and I know y'all got some coworkers like this. If we weren't in this work environment and we never met in this work environment, or if work wasn't even involved and we happened to meet outside work, would we actually hang out together? Will we actually talk together? Will we actually speak to each other? That's exactly how you should always view women. How you basically question it like you would question your coworker. Like your coworker's being nice to you at work. Yes, cool. But the question is, if y'all weren't at work and or if y'all didn't know each other and you happen to come in contact with each other, would that person still be the same person? Because you kind of figure at work, everybody puts on a fake facade because you're at work. Because, you know, it's all about getting along, getting on, and getting along, basically. That's all it really is at work. They're pretty much paid to be fake, basically. Whereas when I go to work, I'm actually an honest person. I don't really give a fuck how you feel about it. I'm going to say the first thing that comes to my mind is probably going to be shocking. It's probably going to be like, oh, shit. This is probably going to be like, oh, we might want to go to the next room because we don't want to be, that sounds like we're all going to be sitting in HR. Yeah, basically. I'm an honest person. I call it like I see it. And that's how I view women, basically, like that coworker at work. If you got that coworker at work and they're like so nice to you at work, I want you to sit there and stop and think to yourself, if this wasn't work and we were outside somewhere and I happened to run into this person, would this interaction even be a thing? Basically. Or better yet, if I didn't work with this person, if this wasn't the place that I met this person, if we didn't have work in common and I happened to meet this person outside work, would this interaction be the same? There's a high chance the answer is going to be no. That's basically how I regard any of my coworkers. I put them in three different categories. Well, two mainly, but I'd say three different categories. One is, if I didn't know them at work, would we talk? Would a relationship be the same? If the answer is no, you go in this category. In this bin. If the answer is yes, or maybe mainly, maybe most of the times it's mainly maybe, you go in this bin. And if it's yes, you go in that bin. So technically there is three bins. But 9 times out of 10, even those yes ones are going to probably go in the maybe bin. It's that fucking simple. That's exactly how, that's how I interact with my coworkers, basically. I interact with my coworkers based on, I may work with you, but I interact with my coworkers based on, if we weren't at work, would this be a thing? And if you can honestly say to yourself, no, it wouldn't be a thing, that's exactly how you should treat it. It's that fucking simple. If you know deep down inside, if the answer is no, that y'all wouldn't have this same relationship like y'all have at work, because you kind of gotta do that at work, because you gotta be fake at work with each other, basically. And women are known for being agreeable. So, like, you know, they might get snippy, but they're known for being agreeable for the most part. I mean, they might get at each other, but like usually when a man's involved, they tend to be more agreeable because they want to be liked, or they want approval, basically. and women will fight each other, but usually they tend to not really nitpick with men at work, in a workplace. And if they do, that's some other shit, basically, and that's for another video, basically. But for the most part, if you're a man at work in a women's environment, basically, women are only going to go as far as you let them go. It's that simple. I mean, there's times when, like I said, except for the time when I actually said the women making sexual jokes at work, which makes no fucking sense. That's a whole nother story for a day. But like, as far as like your interactions with them, you're only going to go as far as they think they can actually go with you, basically. So if you don't have that rapport with them, they're not going to go that far with you. Basically, they're not going to say something outlandish to you. But if they do have that interaction with you, they'll go that far, basically. It's that simple. But at the same time, you also got to keep taking consideration, if you weren't at work with me, will we even interact with each other? Will we even hang out? If we didn't know each other via work, would our relationship even be a thing? And if the answer is no, then that's pretty much what it is, basically. If the answer is maybe, 9 times out of 10 is probably no. And if the answer is yes, 9 times out of 10 is probably maybe. That's exactly how you should look at women when you interact, your interactions with women, basically. It's that fucking simple. Always view your interactions with women the same way you view your coworkers at work. In that manner I just explained to you, basically. If we didn't meet under these circumstances, would this even be a thing? That's how you always got to look at it. That's how you always got to approach it. It sucks, but it's life. And you got to cover your own ass in this life now, basically, with all the bullshit going on. It's that fucking simple.